The Mexican Barbie Killer, Juana Barraza's chilling double life. In the heart of Mexico City, a serial killer prowled the streets for years, hiding in plain sight. Her victims were elderly women, her method chilling, and her identity unexpected. This is the story of Juana Barraza, known to many as the Mexican Barbie Killer, though perhaps more infamously as La Mata Viejitas, or the Little Old Lady Killer. But beneath the surface of this brutal murderer was a life of wrestling, personal trauma, and a twisted quest for revenge. Juana Barraza was born on December 27, 1957, in Epazoyucan, Hidalgo, Mexico. Her early life was anything but ordinary. Raised in extreme poverty, Juana's childhood was marked by abuse, abandonment, and emotional scars that would never truly heal. Her mother, an alcoholic, traded her daughter to a man for 3 beers when Juana was just a child. She was raped, beaten, and forced to live with her abuser. These early traumas planted the seeds of rage and mistrust, especially toward older women, whom Juana came to associate with betrayal and cruelty. As she grew older, Juana attempted to escape her painful past by building a new identity. By day, she was a market vendor, selling snacks to survive. But by night, or at least in the ring, she transformed into a masked lucha libre wrestler named La Dama del Silencio, or the Lady of Silence. With her bright costume and strong physique, Juana built a persona of power and control, an identity starkly different from the frightened child she once was. However, behind the mask and persona, a darker obsession was forming. Juana began targeting elderly women, often those who lived alone. She would pose as a nurse, social worker, or government employee, gaining access to their homes under the pretense of helping them. Once inside, she would strangle them, often with items she found on site, like telephone cords or pantyhose. The murders were brutal, yet methodical. Between the late 1990s and 2006, Mexico City authorities estimate that Barraza may have been responsible for the deaths of up to 48 elderly women. However, she was only convicted for 11. The city was gripped by fear. Elderly women refused to open their doors. Children were terrified for their grandmothers. Police were baffled for years, chasing male suspects, even releasing composite scabs. In a twist of irony, it was fingerprints left at crime scenes that would finally lead to Juana's capture. On January 25, 2006, Barraza was caught fleeing the home of her final victim, 82-year-old Ana Maria de los Reyes Alfaro. Witnesses saw her leave the scene, and police quickly arrested her. Inside her home, authorities found stolen items from various victims and a detailed collection of newspaper clippings about the murders. The trial of Juana Barraza captivated the country. The image of a woman, especially one with such a public persona as a wrestler, being capable of such monstrous acts, shattered cultural perceptions. Her defense tried to argue mental illness, pointing to her horrific childhood and trauma, but prosecutors countered with evidence of premeditation and cruelty. In 2008, she was sentenced to 759 years in prison for the 11 confirmed murders, along with robbery and other charges. What made Juana's case even more disturbing was her motive. Experts believe she targeted elderly women because of the unresolved hatred she held toward her mother. In her mind, every elderly woman she killed was a substitute for the one who had betrayed her. It wasn't just murder, it was a twisted form of retribution. Her dual identity added another bizarre layer to the case. On the wrestling circuit, Juana was admired. As La Dama del Silencio, she symbolized strength and quiet determination. Fans never suspected that beneath the mask was a woman living a double life as one of Mexico's most prolific serial killers. Her calm demeanor and ability to blend in allowed her to remain undetected for nearly a decade. The case had a massive impact on Mexican society. It sparked debates about the treatment of elderly citizens, domestic abuse, and the failure of law enforcement to catch a female serial killer sooner. Critics accused the police of negligence, especially after it was revealed that Juana had been interviewed multiple times before her capture, but had never raised suspicion due to gender biases. Even from behind bars, Juana Barraza remains a chilling figure. She continues to serve her sentence at the Santa Marta Acatitla Women's Prison, where she has become something of a dark celebrity. Interviews with her reveal a woman who is calm, composed, and disturbingly unrepentant. When asked about the killings, she often deflects, denying responsibility or blaming others. But the legacy of her crimes lives on. Families of her victims still struggle with grief. The elderly in Mexico City remain wary, and Juana's story serves as a reminder that evil can wear many faces. It can hide behind kindness, behind trauma, even behind a wrestling mask. The tale of Juana Barraza, the so-called Mexican Barbie Killer, is more than just a sensational story. It's a chilling study of how pain, when left untreated, can metastasize into something monstrous, and how sometimes the scariest monsters aren't the ones hiding in the shadows, but the ones walking among us.